So I thought I'd give you an update on how things are going. It's about an hour after we just finished the last morning show that we're going to have here at Moody Radio, WDLM in the Quad Cities. Man, it was really emotional. So many people texted the show, called the show with thanks and appreciation. Honestly, it was quite overwhelming. And I've had a lot of questions about, hey, what are you doing next? And you know what? I still don't know. Got no clue. Have had some people reach out and say, hey, what about this? And what about that? So there's some things on the periphery, but nothing, solid right this very minute. But you know what? This is not new in the search for a job. If you've ever lost your job, you know what it's like. You ask around, you put feelers out, you send out resumes, you do everything you can. And sometimes it's pretty challenging, and it can be. And that's part of what this journal is about, is to share with you how things are going. I remember when I was looking for a radio gig, I was farming out resumes and demos, probably 3 to 5 every week for a couple of years. So it was really getting kind of frustrating. Well, one group out of Los Angeles area got in touch with me and said, hey, we like what we hear. I went through a couple phone interviews, and at the end of one phone interview, they said, you know what, we want to carry this on to the next step. We want to fly you out here and do a face-to-face and see how you like the area. And I'm like, let's go, man. Yeah. I never heard from them again, ever. Nothing. They totally ghosted me. And another time, I'm looking for a gig, right? And I get an interview, a bunch of interviews, great, sessions with a radio station in Lynchburg, Virginia. And then all of a sudden, they ghosted me too. I thought, that's really weird. A few weeks later, maybe a couple months later, there's another opportunity to interview with another Christian radio station, also in Lynchburg, Virginia. Turned out it was the direct competitor of the station I was talking to the first time. And they're like, yeah, we really like it. Can we have another interview, in a couple weeks? I'm like, you bet, let's do it. So when that time came to have that interview, I'm talking with the station manager there, and right off the bat, she tells me, I just want to let you know that as we're starting this interview, we've already made a decision about the morning show, so there's no chance we're going to hire you, but I thought I'd talk to you anyway. Well, that's inspiring for the interview, right? That just makes you go, yeah, at the interview. And it went well. And after everything was done, she said, I'm going to, the phrase, I'm going to keep your information. And if anything else comes up in the next few months, I'll call you. And of course, you're thinking, no, you're not. You're going to throw everything in the trash and I will never hear from you again. At least that's what I thought. But I kept praying, and to be honest with you, I really liked the idea of being in Lynchburg. It's a beautiful area. There was a lot going for it. A few months goes by, I think about 6 months. And what do you know? That station manager called me and offered me a gig and said, are you interested? I said, yes, I am. And so that's how I ended up doing Christian radio in Lynchburg, Virginia. So the point of it is that there are ups, there are downs where you think, oh, this is definitely going to happen. It may not. Sometimes there are real, excitements, and sometimes there's real disappointments. It's just part of the gig. But there is one thing, and one thing only, that remains consistent no matter what you're doing. Job search, money, relationships, health, whatever. And that is, you can depend with all your heart on Jesus. Never fails, never changes. And that is the thing that I have learned throughout these adventures in life. God has been consistent and always will be. And you know what? He'll be consistent for you too. Talk to you next time. Not sure when that's going to be. But if you have questions or you want to get in touch with me, SethMilaMedia@gmail.com. SethMilaMedia@gmail.com.